Look at me. I got the American flag hanging up on my sleeper. I finally got it done. It is June 22nd, 2022. I haven't done this in a couple weeks. What is the fuel update for here the third week of June 2022? Joe Biden's about ready to speak about now and talk about what he's planning on doing. And of course, what is he blaming the fuel prices on? Cue the intro. Okay, like I said, it is June 22nd, 2022. It is a fuel update, like I said in my intro. Joe Biden's is doing a speech right now trying to get Congress to pass a fuel tax holiday where they'll give us a couple months no taxes on fuel. Federal. Some states has done away. Oops. Some states has done away with the federal or the state fuel tax. New York, a couple others. Connecticut. Now, Mr. Biden, President Biden, wants to do a federal holiday for fuel tax. Now, the federal federal fuel tax is 18 cents a gallon for gasoline. Every gallon of gasoline you put in your fuel tank, 18 cents goes to the government and whatever goes to the state. Diesel is 24 cents a gallon, goes to the government for every gallon you buy. If you buy on-road diesel, not off-road diesel. Off-road diesel is what farmers run on farm equipment. That is non-taxed. Most likely it's red dyed fuel. Only thing is it's a dye so they can say it's not taxed. So if you try to put red dyed fuel in a semi-truck, they can spot it real quick because you can't get that dye out of your fuel tank. But the fuel price for this week has not been updated because of a network issue. It was $5 a gallon for gasoline, and I think $5.70 for diesel. Let me look. I'll be right back. That is from a news article from 2021 of the things Joe Biden did the first few days in office. about canceling oil leases and stuff. Read it. Some of it might be in double or whatever, but look at it. People who says Joe Biden has nothing to do with fuel prices, they need to read and listen to some of the things he has said during the election period. But right now, he has asking Congress to do a three-month fuel tax holiday on federal gas tax. Federal gas tax is 18 cents a gallon for gasoline and 24 cents a gallon for diesel. And I'm talking about on-road diesel, not off-road diesel. If you don't know what off-road diesel is dude tax-free. That's for farm equipment, APUs, reefers, that type of stuff is off-road. But most companies buy on-road fuel and get a credit for the diesel that goes in those engines because it's not on-road use. They write off how many hours. They have a chart to how much gallons per hour it runs, and they times it by how many hours that engine's run from beginning to end of the year, and then write off whatever they spent in federal and state taxes. That is part of their deal. But Joe Biden, the people who say Joe Biden has nothing to do with fuel prices and it's Putin's fault, I just showed a story from back in 2021 when he took office, what the first few things he did. Canceling the Keystone Pipeline. Pipelines are the safest way to transport fuel oil. Now, they cannot transport diesel exhaust fluid or renewable energy, biofuels. They cannot put that in a pipeline. Joe Biden wants to push this Green New Deal. Wants to get America off oil usage. I'm sorry about everything we have run on gasoline or diesel. Ford and Chevy is cutting back production of electric vehicles because there's not that much sales on them. So they're pushing electric powered cars and trucks, pickup trucks, and all electric. While editing this video, I forgot to mention they're already talking about there's not enough power as it is now. They're asking people not to run the air conditioning so much in this 100-degree heat. They're also asking people to conserve electricity. But where does electric come from? How much is it from solar and wind? And how much is it coming from nuclear, natural gas, and coal? Do I need to do a video about that? Let me know. You want to be stuck to a electric meter for a couple hours while your car charges? And it costs money? Or you want to go to the pump, pay the money real quick, and get out the road in 5 minutes? Or you want to be tied to a cord for 2 hours? What's going to happen if you run out of fuel on the out of electric on the road? You gonna walk to a gas station and bring back a can of electric to charge your car? I bet you anything you're gonna call some AAA or something. They're gonna come out with a gas powered generator and put some power in your car until you get enough to get to the next charging point. Now they do have superchargers, which you pay more money. But Joe Biden, he's claiming this has to do with Putin. That's why we're having $5 a gallon gas and $7 a gallon diesel. Out in California, it's $10, just about $10 a gallon for diesel. But Joe Biden, he ain't talking. It's not Joe Biden's policies and politics. It is Putin. That's funny, when Trump was elected, they were blaming Putin and Russia for that for the last 4 years. I thought after the election we wouldn't hear about Putin anymore. And now every time we get, it's Putin's fault. I'm not trying to be too political. I'm just stating the facts. What Joe Biden is wanting to do right now is ask Congress to do a 3-month holiday on fuel tax, which I said is 18 cents a gallon for gas and 24 cents a gallon for diesel. He's also wanting to talk to all the oil executives and want them to beg to up production of oil refinery. They have come out and said they're at 98% capacity now. They can't refine any more oil. What's the last oil refinery that's been built in the United States? 70s, 80s, early 80s? Why ain't we been adding more oil refineries? Why ain't we doing we got the oil here under our feet here in America, in Alaska, Dakotas, Oklahoma, Gulf of Mexico. But he's pulling leases left and right and saying, oh, there is leases available at places that they don't have the high oil like some of the other places like in Alaska and North Dakota. But it's not his policies of trying to change America to the Green New Deal. All you have to do is open your eyes and read different forms of media. You can look back and see some of his speeches he did before the election that he was going to cripple the oil industry. Guess what? He did it. It's not Putin. It's Joe Biden and his policies and the Green New Deal policies. The AOC, the whatever. And guess who gets to pay for his policies? You, me, and Joe Blow down the street. Every time we put fuel in our vehicles, guess what? It's more expensive. Every time we go to the grocery store, guess what? It's more expensive. And just wait till next year when the farmers are really, you're going to see what these crop reports are and what's happening to these farmers. Farmers are not putting the inputs because the fertilizer prices are up. The diesel is up to run the equipment. And a lot of areas, they've been underwater all spring, so they didn't get planted. So they're not going to have the good 300 bushel corn and all that. It's going to get bad. Farmers are going to have trouble feeding their animals, which in turn is going to make us cheaper prices on meat because the farmers are going to have to sell them the beef and all that off younger because they won't be able to afford to feed them. They won't have the crops to feed them, storaged. So, I'm just telling everyone trying to open their eyes up. I know Joe Biden is not blaming him for anything. It's always Putin's fault. It's always the shipping company's fault. It is this fault. It is that fault. Wasn't there a great president said the buck stops here on his desk? It don't stop it in I guess, good old Joe Biden. He was my senator growing up as a kid. I was 5 days old when he was first elected in my home state of Delaware. It's never his fault. I'll try to keep you updated, see what's going to happen. I know there was just, Barack Obama says taking off the fuel tax is a stupid idea back in 2009. But here it is, 2022. Joe Biden, who was vice president then, now I think it's their best idea. So you could pay 18 cents less a gallon. But you gonna think you're gonna see it? No. 18 cents a gallon, you're not gonna notice that. Fuel companies are probably gonna raise the price 25 cents before that even hits. So you'll have to still pay more at the pump. Wait. Fuel's probably gonna be $6 or $7 here soon. Out here, it's $5 plus in some parts of the country I've seen for gasoline, not diesel. The highest diesel I've seen so far personally was $6.48 up there in Pennsylvania. Now I've been running, I just got back, I'm headed back from New Mexico yesterday, and it was high there too. But I just know one thing, there's more car traffic out here now at $5 plus a gallon gas than there was when it was $2 a gallon gas. Oh, what fun days that was. $2 a gallon gas, $1.50 a gallon gas. Everyone, I hope this is a little bit informative. Thumb up the video, and if you're new, hit that subscribe button. We'll see what happens if this fuel tax works or not. Fuel tax does pay for our bridges and highways. I think it might even help pay a little bit for the police force to guard the highways. Yeah, that's what fuel tax pays, mainly roads and bridges. And if you've been on the road, roads and bridges suck. Some states worse than others. Catch you next time.